video on YouTube. Alright, so today I'm going to be working on my Jeep a little bit. Just purchased this Jeep about 2 weeks ago. It has some issues. It's a 96, so it's kind of to be expected. One of the first things that I noticed when I purchased this Jeep is that there was a hole in the exhaust manifold, which is pretty typical for this type of Jeep. The second thing, and the thing that I'm going to be working on today, is the power brake assist, or the power brake vacuum. Went out the other day on the way home, and it basically makes it so it's really hard to push on the brakes. Also, the reason why I knew it was that pretty much right off the bat is you can hear it when you hit the brakes. So I'm not sure if you're gonna be able to hear this, but let me press down on the brakes here. There's a like a suction sound, like an air sucking sound. Basically, there's I believe there's a hole in the boot for the power brake assist. So yeah, I'm gonna be switching that out today. First, I'll try to get some shots of you know, all the pieces in place, what's gonna need to be unbolted and what's not. We'll go from there. All right, stay tuned. All right, so the power brake assist is this piece right here behind the master cylinder. To take it off, you're gonna have to take off the master cylinder as well. 2 bolts here on either side. Then you got your brake lines feeding into it here. Looks like that's it. You got to take out the vacuum hose, and then this has 4 bolts that are located behind the firewall. So you're actually gonna have to go into the cab, up under the driver's seat, under the steering wheel. And there's 4 bolts there, and then also like a cotter pin attached to the brake pedal. So let me show you that real quick, and then we'll start taking it apart. Alright, so when you're coming in into the Jeep, you'll see you follow the brake pedal up right up to that boot there, and you can see the one side of the cotter pin. It actually attaches here on the other side. But yeah, it's real simple, not a big deal. Also, just another quick look, you can see the 2 lower bolts there. One of the upper is on this side. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to see that other one. Oh, there it is. There's the 4th. Yeah, so like I said, it's pretty simple. You do kind of have to crawl up under the hood. You know, I brought my son in to help, and you know, it made a world of difference. He's 10 years old, real eager to help Dad out a little bit. So, like I said, it made a world of difference. If you have somebody that you can use a little help, or tons of help. And from there it should be pretty easy just to remove. All right, let's see here. All right, so these brake lines are 12 millimeter. Ooh, no, maybe they're not. It's too loose. How about a 10? Definitely not a 10. Alright, so this first one I ended up using a 12 millimeter. Didn't end up being quite the right size, rounded it out, and grabbed the vice grip, put it on there super tight, cracked it open, and then took it off. I was actually able to take it off by hand at that point. The second one back here, I just went ahead and started with the vice grip, cracked it open, and then went ahead back to the 12 millimeter. It might be an 11. I don't know. I don't have one to try it out, so kind of got stuck using what I had. I'm sure a lot of you guys know what I'm talking about. End up in the same position. All right, so we're gonna remove these lines, remove this vacuum hose, and then we're gonna head into the cab. There are two sets of nuts here and here. Once you have both of those off, it'll slide right off the bolt. In theory. Just like that. Alright, make sure you keep everything real clean. Alright, so this cotter pin goes on that that boot thing. Right up under here, let's see. If you can see it. Not sure if you can see that.
Why don't you use your flashlight?
But there's a little boot up there. This, the brake pedal itself, you can see is just, it's loose. So you're gonna attach the brake pedal to the end of that boot. And like there's a little pin that goes through, and then this is essentially the cotter pin. It just slides on and connects. Alright, I'm gonna have to apologize. My my battery died while I was working on the power brake assist, and it was so hot that, you know, if I waited any longer, it was just gonna get too hot to work outside. I live in Las Vegas, so it definitely it's definitely been a little warm lately. Project turned out great. Just kind of a recap. Again, you got to take off the two brake lines right here. You got to take off the vacuum hose here, and there's also a little electrical component right there. It just comes off real easy. There's two bolts. I'm sorry. There's two nuts on each side, here, here, and here, and then the four bolts that go up into the cab. One, when I finally took out the power brake assist. Right where the bolts go through, there's two panels essentially, and one kind of slid over just a little bit. So putting it back in, or putting the new one back in, you did kind of have to push, manhandle it in there a little bit, but worked out great. Like I said, the project was a success. Works great. I did want to kind of recap on some things, just as far as like tools you might need. The bolts for the back of this, the power brake assist, it is a 14 millimeter. Something that I used that really made it easy. Let me grab it real quick. Was both this extension, probably about a 14 or 16 inch extension. Also this universal ball joint swivel. Pick it up at like AutoZone for $5. Goes right on the end here. What I ended up doing is I put my son in the cab, and he would, he's a lot smaller than me, he's 10 years old. He would put the, he'd put the socket on the bolt. And then I could back it out, and so I didn't actually have to climb up under the dash for as long as I had anticipated. Really made the project so much easier. So if you have a little help around, bring them out. It's good father-son time, whatever. And it, like I said, it made the world of difference. Also, getting started, go ahead and take off the intake. It's in your way. Makes things a lot easier if you do that. So I definitely recommend taking that off. It's super easy. There's a clamp here, comes off. Let's go ahead and take a look at the old power brake assist. Alright, so you want to keep the old core. You probably ended up putting down a $20 core charge, so make sure you take that back, get your money back. The cotter pin that I was referring to goes right through this eye here, and then that cotter pin attaches. Makes it real, it's real easy. And these four bolts, as I was saying, alright, so these four bolts are what go through the cab. See them there. Like I said, you did kind of, I did anyway, kind of have to manhandle them in there. Wasn't a real big deal, but just be aware you're gonna have to work for it a little bit. So yeah, that's it. Make sure you get your money back. I'm gonna take it in from here. I actually have a couple of car batteries I gotta take in as well. Core charge on those, so I'm gonna go collect my 40 bucks and call it a day. Feel free to join the conversation and share some of your helpful hints. Also, I'd appreciate it if you hit the like button and subscribe.